This presentation will cover several of the key RT practice models used in treatment. In general, some of the basic philosophical beliefs that fuel the RT profession include a humanistic approach and high-level wellness. Using a holistic viewpoint, RT practitioners believe people have the ability to be self-directed, make wise choices, and develop themselves through leisure. We strive to help our clients find meaning in their lives, cultivate a sense of belonging, develop personal satisfaction, and to strive for self-actualization. High-level wellness is inspired by the humanistic perspective to maximize individual potential, develop balance between mental and physical functioning, and to strive for maximal health. By viewing our clients with a humanistic, holistic, and high-level wellness perspective, RT professionals strive to treat the person and not the disease. Here are some key terms that will assist your comprehension of this material. The term philosophy is an individual viewpoint that is made up of a set of learned beliefs and values that direct a person's behavior and attitudes. Concepts are ideas or vehicles of thought used to describe an object or objects in the relationships among them. Constructs are highly developed abstract concepts and complex notions. As discussed in previous presentations, a theory contains interrelated concepts that form a systematic view of a phenomenon, while models are physical representations of a theory in an attempt to objectify the concepts they represent. The remainder of this presentation will focus on conceptual models used in RT practice. Models direct practice and guide practitioners in the process of intervening in the lives of clients. All models must be based on a theory, because a theory provides the foundation for the parts of the model. As you proceed through this presentation, to supplement your textbook material, begin to identify models that resonate with your personal RT-related philosophy. It is important to select a model that supports your services. A model you choose will provide you with a theoretical basis for treatment. It is okay if more than one model resonates with you. At times, practitioners have to choose between different models to provide the most appropriate services for clients. The leisure ability model, the therapeutic recreation accountability model, and the balanced and systematic services models for leisure education are all leisure outcome models. The leisure ability model, also known as the therapeutic recreation services model, is a content model authored by Stumbo and Peterson. The leisure ability model is the best known and most widely used RT model. The purpose of the leisure ability model is to improve the individual's ability to engage in successful, appropriate, and meaningful leisure lifestyle. The model has three components: functional intervention, leisure education, and recreation participation that exist along a continuum where the level of control and the role of the therapist and client changes as the patient moves from functional intervention through leisure education to recreation participation. The therapeutic recreation accountability model, often referred to as TRAM, is a process model by Stumbo and Peterson that provides direction for designing the accountability and documentation tasks in the delivery of RT services. It is designed to help the CTRS to understand the relationships between the program input factors, such as activity analysis and assessment, and the program output factors, such as programs and client outcomes. The TRAM is typically used in conjunction with the leisure ability model, and it identifies the steps of a comprehensive program plan. The final leisure outcome model is the balanced and systematic services delivery model for leisure education by D'Italio. It is both a process and content model. This model is limited to leisure education services and demonstrates the value of leisure education within the RT profession. The balanced and systematic services delivery model for leisure education highlights leisure as a primary vehicle for improving one's overall health, and it supports the CTRS as a leisure educator with a more collaborative role in the treatment experience. This model contains the following 6 components: exploring opportunities, developing an ethic, becoming self-aware, managing challenges, gaining skills, and acquiring knowledge. The next category of models being discussed in this presentation are the health, wellness, and well-being outcome models. Austin's health protection and health promotion model is a content model that uses recreation and leisure to promote optimal health. The mission is to help people to enjoy the highest levels of health possible for them. The model has 3 components: prescriptive activities, recreation, and leisure, that exist along a continuum where the levels of control and the role of the therapist and the client changes as the patient's needs change. The health protection part of the model focuses on restoring health, while the health promotion section focuses on enhancing health. The illness-wellness continuum helps RT professionals assume several different functions based on the client's needs and desires. At one end of the continuum, the RT may join forces with other clinical staff to help the client alleviate illness. Moving along the continuum towards wellness, the RT may conduct leisure counseling programs. And at the wellness end of the continuum, the RT might be working with a community-based recreator. The therapeutic recreation service delivery and the therapeutic recreation outcome models by Van Alden is a content and process model that uses leisure as a way to improve quality of life. The model's overall purpose is to assist clients to attain their optimal levels of health, well-being, and quality of life. The TR services delivery model describes the scope of services ranging from diagnosis and needs assessment to treatment and rehabilitation to education, and finally to prevention and health promotion. Using the following 3 components: diagnosis, needs assessment, treatment, rehabilitation, and education. The TR outcomes model involves the relationship between the client's quality of life and his or her health status and functional abilities, focusing on following 3 components: functional capacity and potential, wellness and health status, and quality of life. These 2 models are meant to be used together to integrate leisure and therapy perspectives. The leisure spiritual coping model by Enhancement is a content model that is based on the evidence that spirituality can play an important role in recovery for people with mental illness, and it identifies recreation and social activities as spiritual activities. Enhancement believes that leisure can be context for coping with stress, and the leisure spiritual coping model contains the following 5 components: spiritual appraisals, personal factors, leisure spiritual coping behaviors, leisure spiritual connections, and leisure spiritual meaning making. The optimizing lifelong health through therapeutic recreation model is a content model that uses leisure as a way to improve optimal health and well-being. The purpose of the model is to minimize the effects of illness and disability across the lifespan, and to enhance health and well-being. The foundation is based on the assumption that engagement in healthy leisure reduces the probability of pathology or secondary consequences. The model contains the following 4 processes: selecting, optimizing, compensating, and evaluating. This is not a linear model containing the following 3 concepts: health enhancement, reform in health and human services, and a life course perspective. The leisure and well-being model is a content model that uses leisure as a means of improving the client's well-being. The purpose of this model is to produce a state of successful, satisfying, productive engagement with one's life and the realization of one's full physical, cognitive, and social emotional potential. Two dimensions of well-being provide the focus of treatment services, and these are the use of positive emotions and the development of clients' strengths and resources. The three components that make up this model include developing resources, well-being, and enhancing leisure experiences. The final model in this category is the flourishing through leisure, an ecological extension of the leisure and well-being model. Like the leisure and well-being model, this is a content model that uses leisure as a means to improving the client's well-being. The flourishing through leisure model is a strengths-based approach that incorporates an ecological perspective and focuses on the individual within his or her environment across all life. The self-determination and enjoyment enhancement model is a content model and the only functional improvement content model related to RT services. The purpose of this model is to bring about an increase in self-determination and enjoyment, to assist clients with disabilities to improve their functional capabilities. The basic premise is that people with disabilities often do not have opportunities to develop and use self-determination, that they have a need to feel in control of their lives, and that self-determination is facilitated by enjoyment. The model is made up of the following 6 components: self-determination, intrinsic motivation, perception of manageable challenge, investment of intention, enjoyment, and functional improvement. As we were going through these presentations and models, you may have noticed a few commonalities among the models. The models all strive to help clients to both alleviate problems and to achieve optimal levels of health and well-being, as well as assisting the clients through independent functioning. The models focus on self-determination and positive emotions as being integral into client success in recreational therapy programs. Many of the models acknowledge the importance of the client and therapist relationship in the achievement of positive outcomes to assist clients to develop healthy living habits, and that they will take with them once they are no longer in recreation therapy. All of them have a theoretical foundation that primarily resting on humanistic, positive psychology, high-level wellness, and a holistic viewpoint.